We're ready. So, whoops,
Microphone.
microphone.
Microphone
Have
on
to push
karo.
it again.
No, off हो गया अब.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
It is, the light is on. Who's got this? Where's the
It's
thing?
not working. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The lights on? Yeah. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's not working. Haribo. Okay. That's good. That's better. So, again, it's nice to see everybody here. So we're going to talk a little bit about initiation. We have one devotee taking second and one devotee taking first initiation. So what is the purpose of initiation? And what is the purpose of becoming Krishna conscious? I mean, these are the questions we have to ask. So we understand that different people come to Krishna consciousness for different reasons. Chaturveda, Vajanti Mam. People come because they're looking for money. I don't think too many people here can for that reason. So, because the movement takes away money from them. So that's really not the case. I mean, people come because they're in distress. That's a big one, because the material world is a very distressful place. And Dukaliya Mashashvatam, from the highest planet to the lowest planet, Panav Artino Arjuna, Mamo Pechu to Kompia, Punarjanmana. So anyway, so people come also because they're inquisitive. What are you all doing? Why you dress so strangely? And people come because they want knowledge. Of course, it's interesting that Krishna really puts those who want knowledge a little higher than the other three, isn't it? I found that quite interesting. So you may want, it's not that they're necessarily higher, but those who are looking for knowledge can function on what we call the intelligence platform. So my point is that regardless of which one of the four reasons we came for, and actually, to tell you the truth, everyone came from one of the four. You can say you were a great pure devotee in your last life, and somehow or other, Krishna took you out of the spiritual world, sent you here to the material world to assist Prabhupada. I think that's rather presumptuous, prideful, and probably not ready for initiation. What do they say? Pride goes before the fall. So Trinadapi Sunichena Tanor Vasishna Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari. That's a disqualification, being prideful. So basically we came for one of the four reasons. Unless we're a Shaktivesha avatar. I don't see any Shaktivesha avatars in this room. I mean, we have Prabhupada. Yeah, I see one. Srila Prabhupada. But we came here, and we came to Krishna consciousness because of one of those four reasons. Now, why am I emphasizing the reason of coming for knowledge? You may ask why you're emphasizing that. Doesn't make someone better. However, it makes someone steadier. So whatever reason we came to Krishna consciousness for, it's important that we come to what's called the intelligence platform. Krishna consciousness is sometimes called Buddhi Yoga, means the yoga of intelligence. So what is the intelligence? And we understand it's one of the eightfold material elements, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. But intelligence can be material or intelligence can be spiritual. So Prabhupada described Krishna conscious intelligence as the form direction of the supersoul. Wow, that's pretty good. So in other words, intelligence, using the example from the Bhagavad Gita, intelligence controls the mind. The example, of course, is the chariot, right? And we're seated as the passenger in the chariot. And so sometimes the horses control everything. That's not good. Those are the pancha indriya, the senses. I mean, I had experience one time I jumped on top of a horse and he took, I didn't know what I was doing and he knew I didn't know what I was doing. And he took me like several kilometers away and basically I had to jump off to save myself. So these are the uncontrolled senses. Adanta gopir vishatam tamishram. Purnak purnas charvita char mananam. So you got the senses, and then the reins, the mind, anakshashtani indriyani, prakritishtani karshati. And then you have the intelligence who controls it all. So what does the intelligence really mean in terms of Krishna consciousness? It means knowing what to do and what not to do in every circumstance. It's the same thing as Sharanagati. We hear this word Sharanagati, which means what? We take it as surrender. Oh my God. Terrible concept. But Sharanagati is defined by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as 6 principles. To accept everything favorable, to reject everything unfavorable. That's the intelligence platform. Of course, there's other things. To understand the Lord always protects you, to understand the Lord is always maintaining you, to have no separate interest. That's a tough one. The hardest one is being meek and humble. Everything else is pretty easy, or more or less easy. So in other words, we talk about someone looking for knowledge, someone who's interested in knowledge. They think of the goal. They're not functioning on, does something feel good? Something doesn't feel good to me. Because in this material world, the mind is such that we will sometimes be doing things for Krishna and we won't be happy until we become pure devotees. When we become pure devotees, it's Kevalananda Kanda. That means only happiness. But until then, there'll be tests because we are still on the bodily platform. You may eat the wrong thing and you'll be in the wrong mood in the morning. You ever run into someone who says, don't wake me up, I'm in the wrong mood. Or I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You ever hear that this morning? Sometimes, it's because of the bodily chemistry, the modes of nature that are around, our minds are still being affected, not controlled. When you take up Krishna consciousness, you're not controlled by the modes of nature anymore, but there may be some effect. And you have the ability to function on the intelligence platform. Don't put it there near the computer. Computers don't like water. But you want water, I'll ask for it.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I protect my gadgets. I have too many gadgets. So anyways, too many people giving me gadgets. So all right, let's talk about accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable. How do we know? Interesting, isn't it? How do we know? Well, that's why it's important, first of all, to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And actually, one of the most important books to read, surprise, is Prabhupada Lilamrita. Because Srila Prabhupada, by his actions, teaches us what it means to follow the Bhagavad Gita. Practical. He's Bhagavad Gita, as I often say, in action. That's Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita in action. I mean, so is Arjuna, but it's so a little hard for me to relate to Arjuna. Nobody sent me to a battlefield recently. I still love all my relatives, my cousin brothers, still, whatever one's still alive. And so, how do I relate? Well, we have Prabhupada. Prabhupada's example. So we read, stress, especially for initiation, we stress the Lilamrita, isn't it? We should read the Lilamrita, understand what Prabhupada did, become expert in Prabhupada's activity. Someone asked you, what did Prabhupada do then? What did he do then? Become expert. Okay, that's one way. But really, it's also important to read other books, too. Bhagavad Gita. I think you've all heard of Bhagavad Gita. And Srimad Bhagavatam and other books. And hear from the Vaishnavas and also associate with the Vaishnavas, get their advice, Didakti Prati Granati, Bhuyamakyati Prichati, Bhukte Bhojyate Chaiva. Of course, everyone likes the giving prasadam, accepting prasadam business. But when it comes to, taking advice, we like giving advice, right? But, accepting advice and competence, it's very hard because of our ego. So we should all have some confidential friends in Krishna consciousness who are advanced, who we can reveal our minds to, who won't go on the internet and post what we just said. I'm struggling with my rounds. Okay, Facebook. So-and-so is struggling to hear his rounds. No. Guya Makyati. Loving exchanges between Vaishnavas. Really important. So Krishna consciousness is based on these sorts of loving exchanges. Prabhupada said that's how our movement goes forward. Yes, we have our philosophy that keeps us in line. Sambandha Vidya Prayojana. That keeps us in line. But really what enthuses us is bhakti, because we're bhakti yogis. It's not that we're hatha yogis with our yam and niyam and asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. That's kind of dry, isn't it? For the hatha yogis. And even Arjuna said that in the Gita. He said, I can't do it, Krishna. Go to a secluded place, breathe in a certain way. Not possible. But through bhakti. So here's the final clue about how to accept everything favorable, reject everything unfavorable, is to actually consider, to ask yourself, if my spiritual master was there, if Prabhupada was there, what would he say to do? I mean, really, one has to, that's a secret. It's not a secret, but it's something that I usually emphasize, that we have to really integrate our spiritual preceptor, and for everyone in the Krishna conscious movement, that also means Prabhupada, particularly Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the ultimate source of shiksha, the ultimate example. Much better example than me, that's for sure. Prabhupada never watched a Bollywood movie. So, but we think, oh, Prabhupada is here, and he is. My spiritual master is there, he is. It's a spiritual relationship. It's not something based on some Vapu. Vapu is there, yes. It's nice that we serve the Vapu, especially when I'm asking for prasadam. We don't need disciples who say, I'm engaged in Bhani Seva Guru Maharaj. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Prabhu's still here, Prabhu. But we think, the spiritual master is present. Prabhupada is always present with me. I perceive it. And so, all right, here's a decision to be made. What should I do? What should I not do? what's pleasing to Krishna, what's not pleasing to Krishna. What would Prabhupada say? Like that. And we develop this desire to engage in what I was talking about last night, what's called a bhakti ras. Ras means like a taste. Bhakti means real love. It's not puja. It's not material love, like, I love my mobile phone. Isn't it? I love that car. I love my Tesla. I hate your car. So anyway, that's the mind, the mental platform, accepting, rejecting things. But love, real love, is just like, yes, it's a desire to please someone who you love, but it's also the desire to engage in reciprocal loving exchange. Like we desire to please Krishna, but we also want Krishna to love us and reciprocate. It's not a one-way street. I mean, oftentimes we preach to devotees, say, you should just try to please Krishna. Just try to please Krishna. Yeah, that's half of the equation. The other half is we want Krishna to be pleased with us, isn't it? And Krishna loves us. I mean, that's unquestionable. Krishna loves us, no matter what we do, no matter how big a rascal you are. Krishna loves you. But you'll get that exchange of bhakti ras when you give your heart to Krishna. It's interesting, the word shraddha, which we generally translate as faith, right, really means to give your heart. Shak da. Shak means heart. Da means to give. So in other words, it's implicit faith that simply by loving Krishna, simply by doing what Krishna wants, everything will be accomplished. And what everything includes is not your financial well-being necessarily, but it includes the reciprocation from Krishna because you need it. Like Prabhupada said, we all have a need for loving exchanges. And that's why in the material world, we try to engage it in other objects. Like today, I was walking in the park and people were loving their dog. It's a special day, I guess, for dog walking. Sunday, I guess. It's the only day because they got their dog because they have children, but the children no longer take care of the dog. The parents take it out, and that's the only day they have off, right? Isn't that a common thing? No names mentioned. So people walking with their dogs, and it's just like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I'm thinking, you know where your next birth is going to be? Just, oh my God, I'm thinking compassionately. But that's natural. Because why do people have dogs? Because the dog has this quality called, it's a fancy word for I'll translate it, obsequiousness. Obsequious means it acts like it's trying to please you. Actually, it's trying to bribe you, but that's another question. What do they say? Too much devotion is a sign of a thief. So it's not really interested in pleasing you. It's interested in, it knows if it acts in a certain way, it's hardwired for that. Certain breeds are just like wired, their brains, whatever. And so, but we get satisfaction out of that. But that satisfaction is short-lived. You can't just go all day long and look at the face of your dog. Write love letters to your dog. This is my dog's birthday, bake a birthday cake for the dog. People do that. Sounds funny, but it actually happens. But Prabhupada said we have a need for unlimited loving exchange. Prabhupada also gave the example of a, what you call a torch or a flashlight, we mentioned that yesterday, that you shine it in a box, it just goes a limited distance, but you shine it in outer space, it goes on forever. So we have a need for ever increasing bhakti ras, not just one stage, but unlimited. Just like Krishna is Ananta, he has Ananta Rupam, unlimited forms. So we have a need for this unlimited loving exchange that gets better and better all the time. And that's the spiritual world. So it's our basic need. We have a right. It's our right. Whoops, what happened?
The live video ended.
Anyway, I'm live. That's why I come prepared. So anyway, so we have a right for that loving exchange, an unlimited loving exchange. Wow. And that's actually Yatma Supersedite. Survival some parodharma yato bhakti hosajay. Ahitakiya pratitaya Yatma Supersedite. And that's what we get. It satisfies the self. Yato shanti cha ramanti cha. I mean, so many verses I can quote in this particular regard. So how do we come to the point of experiencing this particular loving exchange? It's not an artificial imposition. Therefore, we have something called what? Vaidhi Bhakti. And this initiation is part of Vaidhi Bhakti. We're not initiating you into Raghunuga Bhakti right now. Don't get any ideas. You know, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. No. Hare Krishna. You know the chant Radhe, Radhe. I mean, when I go to Govardhan, they chant Radhe, Radhe to greet people. One time I made a mistake. After I went to Govardhan, I went to Mayapur. And I kept chanting Radhe, Radhe, and people started chastising me. No, Hare Krishna. No, Radhe, Radhe. I was afraid they were going to throw stones at me. So, but really, it's Vaidhi. We have to really be honest what platform we're at. I mean, sometimes people are dishonest and they think, oh, I'm on a higher platform. I'm on a Raghunuga platform. And then they try to understand what their rasa is with Krishna. And then they may even meet someone who teaches them by telling them what they're, you know, they go to Radhakund, who tells them, and they say, oh, it's so nice. He's told me what my rasa is. No, you rascal. You don't know what your rasa is right now, what your relationship is right now. I mean, I was a new devotee, and I thought I understood what my rasa was after 1 week in the Hare Krishna movement. Me and the other brahmacharis, we look at each other and say, we're all coward warriors. Oh yeah, sure. Coward warriors who couldn't control themselves from eating too much. After 1 week. So we have to be patient. So basically, what keeps us patient and enthusiastic, that karma part, not following the rules and regulations, is the ras we also have with the other devotee of the spiritual master. Like I could say what keeps me patient after 200 years of trying to chant is my relationship with Prabhupada. You know, just like, wow. And then I think it would be so nice to serve Prabhupada life after life. Isn't it? Whoops, someone's phone. Got some music there in the background. So anyway, so you know, this keeps us going, this bhakti ras. And it increases all the time. Even in the Vaidhi stage, you get the bhakti ras. Because it's immediate relief from all the stress, you know. That's the beginning, according to Srila Rupa Goswami. So, okay, let's talk about Vaidhi. What does Vaidhi mean? It means following the vidhi, or the rules and regulations. Now, that also means the intelligence platform. Again, we bring back that principle of wanting something, knowledge, intelligence platform. So we understand that these rules and regulations, following them will please Krishna. Even if our mind is rebelling, even if our body is rebelling. So what are the rules and regulations? Very simple. You got 4 regulated principles, which we always talk about in initiation. You know, no meat, fish, rays, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And for those of you from Fiji, no kava. Right? You have to be very clear about it. So those of you from India don't know what we're talking about. So, why do we follow? Okay, here's the question. It's not just blindly. Why do we follow the four regulated principles? Because if we don't, it's bad karma, first of all. Second of all, it brings us to the mode of ignorance if we break those regulated principles. Puts you on the bodily platform, puts you into an illusion within an illusion. Prabhupada said when he saw someone taking intoxication, he said he's in an illusion within an illusion. It's just like if you play a video game, and that's not one of the rules and regulations to give up video games, don't worry. But if you play a video game, it puts you into an illusion thinking you're the character, what they call the avatar in the video game, but you're already in illusion thinking you're this body. And then you go into another illusion. So you're in illusion within illusion within illusion within illusion. Several levels of illusion. So basically, all these activities put us in the mode of ignorance and they bring us down, apart from the karmic thing, which is a really heavy issue too. And they separate us from Krishna. That's one way of looking at it. I want to connect with Krishna. Instead of thinking of the four regulated principles as something negative, these things, if we don't follow them, then we're disconnected from Krishna. We're disconnected from that bhakti rasa again. It's a very, I don't want to be disconnected from bhakti rasa because that's what makes us happy. I often tell the devotees that since I've been practicing Krishna consciousness, I can't believe that Krishna's given me the fortune to be so happy in this world. And sometimes I even think that, it's so much happiness, it must be illegal. Maybe the police would come knocking on my door. You're too happy, That's what my mother said. I said, I'm always happy in the Krishna consciousness. So that's not natural. You got to be miserable sometimes. Yes, mother, I'll be miserable for you. So these things separate us from our constitutional position. That's all. And then, of course, the 16 rounds, and that connects us because Namachintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigra Punashuddha Vichimukto Vinatwam Namanam. And chant from your heart. Chant thinking this connects me to the Bhakti Ras. Not just hearing is good, but just thinking I'm connected with Krishna. Have a proper sankalpa. We often mention this. Why am I chanting? I'm chanting to connect me with Krishna. I want that loving exchange. That's the only thing that will satisfy you. Nothing else will satisfy you other than that bhakti rasa. I'm telling you that right now. Nothing else. Otherwise, you'll be engaged in purnas, charvita, charvandana, trying all these things again and again and again. And the great Acharya Albert Einstein stated, that's the definition of insanity, right? Keep on doing the same thing and think you're going to get a different result. Okay, I'll get a new watch, I'll be happier. The next watch, happier. Just today, I got a new watch, so I'm not any happier. Thank you for it, though. Anyway, I was thinking, oh my God, I can't wait till I put them on my wrist. But it tells the same time. Because Krishna's time, Kalo Asmi. So we chant to connect. People often ask, why 16? Well, because if we didn't give you some number, you wouldn't chant at all. Someday you may, I forgot chanting. Well, it's not so important. I got other things to do. But this way you remain fixed. I mean, since I joined the Krishna conscious movement, I've chanted 16 rounds every day, even when sometimes I've been really sick, lying in bed and going, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because I made that promise. Actually, that's part of being a civilized human being. And when you make a promise, you stick to it. Like Grandfather Bhishma. You stick to your promise. That's it. I mean, yeah, if you're in a coma, I understand. You understand coma? You're on life support and you can't come back to consciousness. Then you just chant in your coma. You don't need your beads then. So anyway, so that's why we have a certain number of rounds. Actually, Prabhupada started at 64, and then Prabhupada said, no, I guess you can't do it. Then 32, and then 16, but no less. And obviously, if someone's not initiated, we're happy if they chant one time Hare Krishna. We offer respects in the mind to them. If someone chants Hare Krishna even once, that's acceptable. So, and then Prabhupada always would have us mention what the 10 offenses are chanting. So that's part of the standard. 10 offenses really quickly. First offense is commit offenses, blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord. And that means any religion, we actually respect people who are preaching actual God consciousness. Next offense is to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, anyone else? Shiva, Ganesh. Please don't worship Panchamukha Hanuman. That's not bona fide. That's something that came later. Hanuman is not Vishnu, is it? Panchamukha. We worship Hanuman. I love Hanuman. I have in my altar. He's a Bhakta. He's Ram Bhakta. He's not Ram. If you think Hanuman is Panchamukha with that whole depiction, that means you think he's non-different than Ram. Not true. Be very careful about that. So don't think that demigods and the names of the demigods are equal to or independent of the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Our next offense is to disobey the order of the spiritual master. So a bona fide spiritual master does not give orders the disciple cannot follow. And also you have a right, not for a second opinion, but you have a right to ask why. And you can give feedback and you can say, well, can't do that, and the guru will adjust things. It's a back and forth relationship. It's not simply yes, boss. It's also a devotional relationship. The guru simply wants the disciple to advance. The guru is not trying to engage the disciple for his own sense gratification or edification. That's a very important principle. Next offense is the blasphemy of the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. So any literature that advocates the love of God, we accept that literature. And even the Christian literature says you should love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and all thy might. It's a beautiful saying, isn't it? And there's so much nice things in every religious literature. And of course, there's been changes in every religious literature that we may not accept, but literatures that are bona fide. So next offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to the imagination. Next offense is to give some perverted, concocted meaning to the chanting of Hare Krishna. Actually, the name Krishna means Krishna, attraction, and Ananda. Krishna Ananda, like that. So it means that by chanting Hare Krishna, our mind gets attracted, our soul gets attracted in different ways. So next offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting. In other words, don't drink liquor and chant your rounds between each drink of vodka. It's not appropriate. And don't think you can get away with it. Because Krishna is watching you 24/7. People don't like it if there's a security camera everywhere. Can you imagine you put a security camera in the bathroom or security? Oh my God. Krishna's also there. So wherever you go, there's no hiding place from Krishna. So try to remember that. So In other words, Krishna will know when you're doing something or not doing something. So, and then the next offense to be avoided is to consider the chanting to be like a ritual, like the karma kanda rituals. But we have other rituals we do, like we wear dhotis, or I wear a dhoti. And it's not the same as chanting Hare Krishna. I mean, there's plenty of people like Ravan, he wore dhoti too. And he had tilak, a little different tilak. So the point is, what gets you back to God is the Yuga Dharma. Even if you're wearing pants, not at your initiation, but if you, even if you're wearing pants, you're wearing a swimming suit, if you chant Hare Krishna, you go back to God with devotion. So the next offense is to instruct the glories of chanting to those who are faithless. What does that mean exactly? That means we preach to everybody, but we understand how much they can digest. In other words, you don't give someone more food to eat than they can digest, or else they get sick. So everybody can hear the holy name. That's why we go in Harinam. We're not committing that offense by going on Harinam. But we don't necessarily tell people by chanting Hare Krishna to get rid of all your sins, because we may be encouraging them to continue sinning in the name of chanting, or chanting in the name of sinning. So that's important to understand who you're talking to and what they can hear. Hear from the person first. Talk to them and say, you know, what's your interest in spiritual life? And based on their answer, you know how much Krishna consciousness to present to them. Simple like that. Otherwise, you'll drive people away. They did that to me 2 years before I actually joined ISKCON. The devotees preached in such a way, and they said, you know, your hair is Maya. And I had beautiful hair. You ladies would have been envious. Of the hair I had. Not of the hair here, but the hair up there. And they said, you know, this hair is mine. You're going to hell. Yamaraj is coming to get you. And I said, oh wait, Kali, they also said, Kali Yuga is coming. You're going to be short as a dwarf, living underground, eating human flesh. And I told the other people I was with, I said, I just got an overdose of Krishna consciousness. And it took me 2 more years of avoiding the devotees. Every time I saw a Hare Krishna devotee, let's get me out of here. They're those people. And actually, the devotees committed the cardinal sin of asking me for a donation. That was the worst thing they could have done. Everything else I could tolerate. But when they went for my wallet, that was too much. That's why I say to people, when you want people to give donations, you make friends with them. Don't do fundraising, you do friend raising. Like that. Or another thing they say, if you want people to donate to a temple, you ask them for advice. Because if you ask them for money, they give you advice. Right? And if you ask them for advice, then they give you money. So anyway, so that's that offense. And also, it is offensive to maintain material attachments. It's not offensive to have material attachments. It's offensive to not try to get rid of them. Okay. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there's actually an 11th offense, which is inattention while chanting, which really surrounds the other offenses in chanting. So it's important to follow those things. So we can, why? Yeah, always has to be a why. Why am I doing what am I doing? And that why is because we want to connect with Krishna, have this bhakti, loving exchange. Krishna wants us to have that loving exchange. Krishna wants us to be happy. Prabhupada said the business of the leaders in the Krishna conscious movement is to make sure all the devotees are jolly. Jolly means not just happy, but just overflowing with ecstasy. And he also said, make sure you get in the prasadam too. That was the second part. So Krishna wants that. Krishna wants you to smile. Krishna wants you to be happy. And if you have this bhakti ras, you can be happy in every circumstance. Anywhere. Happiness, distress, disease, anything, you always be happy. And you'll be always loving in Krishna, and you'll always be loving towards everyone else. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmane manupashati sarva bhuteshu chatanam katona vigigushate. It's wonderful. So anyway, and then if you really want to perfect your chanting, then you really study the Shikshashtaka, Lord Chaitanya's 8 prayers. And he teaches us the mood, actually the mood of Radharani, the mood of Krishna's topmost servant. You want to connect with Radharani? Study the Shikshashtaka. That's her mood. And so, particularly, I mentioned one verse, Ainanda Tsanuja Tinkaram Patitam Mam Vishavetam Mam Krupya Tava Padapankaja Sita Duli Sadrasam Vachintya. O son of Narash, Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but please pick me up from this ocean of horrible death and fix me as one of the atoms of truth. You know, it's a prayer, it's a plea, it's a cry. It's like a child, as Prabhupada said, crying out for his mother. Save me. So that's basically initiation. I just want to touch briefly on second initiation because we only have one person taking second initiation. Second initiation means to further attempt to cultivate the mode of goodness. Why the mode of goodness? Because the mode of goodness is the jumping off point from which it's easy to be Krishna conscious. Because Samadhamatapaksho Cham Shanti Rajam Nevajagana Vikanamastikam Brahma Karmas Wabhavajam. One is becoming equipoised, austere. Austerity means accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable, clean, studying the books, especially again, we get to the point of study. But don't wait until you take second initiation to you cultivate. You say, I'm only first initiation. I don't have to be clean or equipoised. No, it's not my duty right now. It's everyone's duty. You should all aspire for that. And really, all you need to go back to God is the chanting part of Krishna. Second is not necessary to go back to God. First is necessary. Necessary, but the sufficient means that you actually give your heart to Krishna. First initiation is not sufficient to get you back to Godhead in the sense that you got to do other things, give your heart to Krishna. But it gives you the framework in which you can execute certain activities, but it has to be internal the cultivation. You can be chanting externally your 16 rounds every day for the next 2,000 lifetimes and following the regular principles, but unless you go internal, your advancement will be much slower. So it's really important to really go internal. Think about that loving exchange. Think about pleasing Guru. Think about pleasing Krishna. And then your advancement, I mean, it'll be like a rocket ship, basically. Back to home, back to God. So I guess that's the lecture, or whatever it was. And so now I guess we give the names to the devotees. What's that? Oh, the vows, yeah. Forgot about that one. The vows. And everyone gets a 200-page form to fill out. With all their financial, no. Don't worry about that. So I guess I'll call the devotees in order, and usually the process is, of course, Prabhupada is there on the altar. So you offer obeisances to Prabhupada and the deities at the same time. And you come and offer obeisances to my not so humble self. And then you take your vows and get initiated. So first one is Shefali Argawal. Okay. And just so we're lined up. Rajani Sharma is next. So she should come next afterwards. Okay. Jai Haribol. Okay. So what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Okay. And how many rounds you chant every day?
Minimum 16 rounds of
Minimum 16
Krishna
rounds.
mantra,
And
and more if possible.
more if possible on cuts,
On
if it's possible. And yeah, try your best to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And this is really important, which I didn't mention in the lecture. I should have mentioned that. That our business is to serve, regardless of who you're initiated in ISKCON, our business is to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission somehow or other to the best of our ability. That means the temples, the devotees, all that. And Prabhupada will be pleased if you do that. So you get the beads with your right hand. So your name now, it's actually the name of Radharani, but it's an interesting name that I came up with Radharani, is Seva Sevi Devi Dasi. The person who's always serving Krishna, Seva Sevi. The person is the personification of Seva. You haven't heard that before. I take a long time. So to figure these names out. So Rajani, you're next. And after her is Lavanya. Actually, you're all in order. That's pretty good. How did that happen? What's that? No, yeah, the mala is fine. So, you have a nice name. So what are the four regulated principles?
No illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, no intoxication, and chanting minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna
Hare
Maha
Krishna.
Mantra.
Wow, you got everything. Wow. And if you can chant more in the concert, it's always nice to do that and serving Prabhupada's mission. So to get the beads with your right hand. So your name now is, whoops, Rasa Krita Devi Dasi. Okay. And okay, after Lavanya, thank you, is Gayatri. Okay, that's good. So what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling.
And how many rounds every day?
Minimum 16 rounds.
Minimum 16 rounds. Okay, very nice. And if you can chant more in the Ekadasi, and we serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And so your name now, you get the beads with your right hand, is Leela Priya Devi Dasi. Okay, and next is Gayatri. Okay, another mala. So, what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And
And how many rounds every day?
minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Okay, more in the cost
More.
possible and serve Prabhupada's mission. So, I got several. Sometimes I wait to the last minute to pick a name because I have several options here. So I want to. Whoops. You only get one set. Okay. So you get the beads with your right hand.
Yes.
And your name now is Gora Leela. Okay. And next is Push Praj Singh. And after him will be Santoshi.
You want me to change with this?
What's that?
No.
What do I have to change?
Oh, for initiate. Understand.
Oh, you want to give them mic?
Sorry, and I was trying to understand what Prabhu was saying. Yeah. Okay.
Well, they can hear.
I understand. Sorry.
Okay, Haribol. Whoops. Okay. So, okay, so what are the four regular principles?
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
And how many rounds every day?
Minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, and if possible, more than that.
If you possible, more on the Kaddishi. And then try your best to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission, cooperate. Because Prabhupada says your love will be tested by how you cooperate. Really important. So you get the beads with your right hand. Let's see what name we're going to pick now. Okay, you got a special name. Ooh, too special. So yeah. Okay, I'll give you the name. Your name now is Paramahamsa Das. A servant. That means a servant. Paramahamsa. Remember that. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. And Santoshi, next after Santoshi is Viren. Alicia is after that. She here? Oh, she's crying. She's crying already. So, Santoshi, what are the four regulated principles? Oh, wait, you want to give me the mala? Oh my goodness. It's like Fiji. So, what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and doing more on
Do one more
Ekadashi.
cutscene and serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So here's a good name. So you get the beads with your right hand. And whoops, your name now is Shri Shakti Devi Dasi. Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Things are getting unwieldy here. Anyway, so Fadine, and then after her is Navneet. Right after her. That's good. So okay, Mala. I don't need a pillow.
We have a say.
So what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
Very nice. How many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds.
And if you can chant more in the Kaddishi, it's optional. And try to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission to the best of your ability. So your name is, oh, here's a nice name. Let me get the beads. So, okay. Oh my God. So your name now is, okay. Get to be with the right hand. Achincha Rupa Devi Dasi. Achincha, inconceivable form. So, phew. Okay. Navneet, and after him is Supriya. Who's after Navneet? I think I need to unload some of these first. It's getting extremely hot with all these. Thank you. So what are the four regulated
No
principles?
meeting, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication.
Sometimes when someone can't remember, I just make. And how many rounds?
Minimum 16 rounds.
Minimum 16 rounds.
More in
And you can change more in Ekadashi. And try your best to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission and cooperate with Srila Prabhupada's mission.
Yes.
And so you get the beads with your right hand. So your name now is Nadia Bihari. That, of course, is the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nadia Bihari.
So good.
Wow, Nadia Bihari. Nice name.
Nice name.
All right. Hello. You. What are the four regulated principles?
No gambling, Gurudev, no intoxication, no meat eating, and no illicit relationships.
Okay. And how many rounds did you chant?
Minimum 16.
Try to chant more in the cousin if you can.
Yes.
And then try to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission to the best of your ability. So you get the beads with your right hand. Your name now is Sveta Manjari Devi Dasi. Okay, next, of course, Kiran Kumar is next. And after him is Nanita Singh. So we can line up. All right. Oh, it's tangled. That's right. I'll just put it on my lap instead.
It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Jai.
Jai Haribol. Thank you. So, okay, microphone. What are the four regulated principles?
No gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no meat eating.
Or fish or eggs.
Or fish eggs.
So how many rounds every day?
16 rounds every day minimum.
Yeah, and if you can, chant more in Ekadashi and try to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. So you get the beads with your right hand. And so your name now is Keshava Chandra Das. Okay, nice name. So next. That's all right. That's a small one. So Anita, after Anita is Sumintra. Sumintra is after Anita. So Anita, what are the four regulated principles?
no meat eating, no illicit sex, no alcoholic intoxication, and no gambling.
Okay, and how many rounds?
16 is minimum, but we can do more. And promoting Srila Prabhupada's mission.
Wow. You're proactive. That's a good sign. Knowing the heart of the group. So your name now, as you get the beads with your right hand, is Nitya Shakti Devi Dasi. So Sumitra after her is Monita. Okay, ready? Hare Krishna. Okay, Monita. Sorry. I got it. So, what are the four regulated principles?
Not meat eating, no alcohol, no gambling, and no sex.
Okay, and
Chanting Hare Krishna.
Jenny, how many rounds
16 of more.
or more, if you can, and serving Prabhupada's mission to the best of your ability. So, you get the beads with your right hand. And your name now is Shri Shakti Devi Dasi. Nice names, isn't it?
Very nice.
Okay. So after Manita is, wait, let's see, those two aren't taken today. Is Parameshwarao is after. Is after Manita. So Manita, what are the four regulated principles?
No meat, fish, eggs, and onion and garlic, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
16 rounds minimums and extra on everything.
Oh, we're not serving Prabhupada's mission. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's a nice one. Okay. Your name now, you get the beast with your right hand, is Madhavi Gopi Devi Das. All right, we have just two more. And then we've accomplished it today. Okay. Hare Krishna. Brahmin family. Rao is a Brahmin name. So nice to have Brahmins. So what are the four regulated principles? Oh, yeah.
No intoxication.
మాంసాహారం తినకూడదు,
No meat eating.
మత్తు మందులు తాగకూడదు,
That's no intoxication.
జోదము ఆడకూడదు,
No gambling.
వ్యభిచారం
No
చేయకూడదు.
illicit relationship.
Okay. And how many rounds? Get the rounds?
32
32.
32? Okay, and try your best to serve Prabhupada's mission. Okay. And okay, so here's, you get the bees with the right hand. So your name now is Param Brahma Das. And next is, and last is Vijay Lakshmi. And I think we covered everybody. Is that everybody? Do we miss anything? What? Where? Oh, I missed it. Where's it? Uh-oh, the name's not there. What is that? I mean, Shrikant.
Should be right next to guys.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, I mean, I'll just figure the name right now.
Wow.
Okay,
That is best.
okay. Somehow or other, I didn't know this down. But anyway, so what are the four regulated principles? You can translate.
మాంసం తినకూడదు
No,
మద్యపానం
no meat eating, no
చేయకూడదు,
intoxication,
వ్యభిచారం చేయకూడదు,
no illicit relations,
జూదమాడ
no gambling.
And how many rounds?
16.
16 rounds. Okay, we'll try to help Srila Prabhupada's mission, serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. Get the bees with your right hand. So your name now is Vidya Swarupani. Vidya Swarupani, that's the name of Radharani, actually.
Yay.
The form of knowledge. It also could be a name of Watchman, too. So, Shrikant. Sorry, I forgot you. Okay. Guess I was a Maya. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's gonna take a minute.
Take as long as you can to.
Take as long as I can. They don't have all day there. Just right. I'm just writing down alternatives.
Wheel of Fortune. I feel like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, you get the fortune of me figuring it out at the last minute. So. Okay, that's a nice name. Okay, so what are the four regulated principles?
No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication.
And how many rounds every day?
Minimum 16 rounds and do more on Ekadashi.
More on Ekadashi. And you serve Prabhupada's mission. Cooperate. Cooperate, of course, there are two ways straight. Doesn't mean like blind following. It means we cooperate with each other to, what is Prabhupada's mission? In a nutshell, it's more devotees, happier devotees. Everything else is meant to serve that, whether we're doing temple construction, raising money, distributing books, everything is meant to bring more people into Krishna consciousness, connect with Srila Prabhupada, and make the existing devotees happier. Feed them. Plenty of prasadam. So, it's an interesting name. So your name now, get the piece with your right hand, is Sarva Siddhi Das. Siddhi, of course, means all perfection. And Krishna is the most perfect person. And Prabhupada is the most perfect person. Anyway, so Sarva Siddhi Das ki jai. I already have Sadhu Sangha. At least the Sadhu Sangha, yeah. Sarva Siddhi Das. Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Sadhu, yeah, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sarva Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Yeah, that's that verse. It's the topmost perfection. Okay, did we forget anybody? Oh, we forgot the Brahmana initiation. Okay. Okay, will our ritualistic Brahmin come forward? Yeah, don't be a Brahma Bandhu. Be an actual Brahmin. Actually, the word Brahmin, or one is a Brahmin, it means one who knows Brahman. That's the definition. So we know, okay, yeah. We know the topmost aspect of Brahman, which is Bhagavan. Rameti, Bhagavan, Rameti, Bhagavan, Iti, Sadhute. So concentrate on Bhagavan. Don't concentrate on the impersonal Brahman, please. So, all right, let's get your Brahman thread. Second to untangle it. Okay, so what you need to do is take off the upper portion and put your arm, right arm, through it and ahead. Jai. And I'll give the mantra later. No problem. So now I guess, right, you can proceed. All glory is due Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Jai.
I just want to.
Kirtan,
What?
can you short Kirtan to 5 minutes?
We're just sitting for the Havan.
Yeah, I know. I gave it to you last time. You waited a long time.
Waiting, yes.
I know. Okay, thank you.
We'll have a short Kirtan, Maharaj, while we invoke.
Whatever you like.
Yes. Thank you.
You're the boss.
Under your service. Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
What?
Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Yeah, it's not a big deal. All right.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Om Sankirtanti.
Yeah, so I just noticed.
Number 7.
No, I think I need to change the name.
It'll be Sumitra. She was the second one. Yeah.
All of you got drinks in your hand. If you have touched your mouth and something, just wash your hands again.
Just never come up.
Into some water from your husband cup into the
Yeah,
drains.
I've never come up.
Yeah. Okay.
Putting in the fire in the mouth of Lord Vishnu.
Sumitra
Use your right hand,
Yeah.
one if you're a lefty, your right hand.
Just one thing is that I just noticed I gave the same name to two people. So I just wanted, Sumitra, I wanted to give her a different name.
Let's come up for
She just comes up for a second.
Sumitra.
Sumitra. So your name, changing the name, is Shri Sudevi.
Sri Devi Devi Lakshmi.
Okay.
Jai.
Sit down again. Okay. And they all have their neck beads on and everything?
Yes, we did all. So now we got the grains, we all got the grains. So at the end, chant each mantra, end of each mantra, it says Swaha 3 times to the grains in the fire. Try to get as close to fire as possible. And at the end, we'll do the pouring to the bananas. So please repeat after me. Om Adhyana Inurandasya Dhyananjana Salakaya Swaha 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 Sri Chaitanya Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Pada Mahyam Dadati Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sadhyatam Sahagana Adunata Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Ayana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Lalita Vishakha Anvitamsha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Now we chant the Guru Maharaj's Paramantra. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Sri Krishna Goswami Maharaj Itinamine Swaha Swaha Swaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Swaha Swaha Swaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutale Mate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Itinamine Sri Varshabhane Devi Daitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Narine Sabhave Namaha Madhurya Ujjwala Madhya Shirupanuga Siddha Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Gauravani श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपलोग विरूढ़ा अपसिद्धांता वंता हारिणे स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमो और किशोराय वैराग्य मूर्तये प्रलंब संबोधे पदाम्बुजाय स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। नमः भक्ति विनोदाय और शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपनुगा वरायते स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा। और निर्भाव स्वाम वैष्णव श्री जगन्नाथाय नमः
जय नमः
स्वाहा
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 स्वाहा। वांचा
वांचा
कल्प
कल्प
तरु
तरु
भ्रष्ट